All right, let's get right into this. We're always told that to have influence, to be a real leader, you've got to speak up, right? Be loud, make sure you're heard. But what if one of the most powerful tools for control isn't about speaking at all? What if it's all about strategic, deliberate silence?
This question, it really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. I mean, think about it. We automatically assume the person making the most noise has the most power. But in those really high-stakes moments, true authority, well, that often belongs to the person who's the most composed, the most observant, and the one who is in absolute control of their words.
And that control, it brings us to this amazing concept, the power of the pause. Now, this isn't that awkward silence when you don't know what to say. Oh no. This is about actively weaponizing the pause, turning silence from what seems like a weakness into your single greatest strategic advantage.
Exactly. This whole idea just flips conventional wisdom right on its head. Instead of desperately trying to fill every single second with words, we're going to explore the Stoic art of verbal restraint. It's a technique designed to make sure that when you do finally decide to speak, your words land with maximum undeniable impact.
So this leads us to a really crucial technique we're going to break down called the Stoic authority shift. And trust me, this is not a passive move. It's a conscious, tactical decision you make to completely change the entire dynamic of a conversation.
Okay, so let's look at how this authority shift actually works. The core idea here is that you're not just being quiet for the sake of it. You're actively using that silence to make the other person, well, uncomfortable. It puts pressure on them, makes them question their own position, and what happens? They end up ceding psychological ground, basically handing you control of the entire interaction. And wow, this quote just nails the end goal, doesn't it? By holding back, by letting that tension build just a little, you completely transform what you say. You're not just adding to the noise anymore. You're not pleading to be heard. Your words become this decisive, authoritative event.
So, how does this actually work on a psychological level? Why is silence so powerful? Well, it all comes down to creating something the source material calls a strategic vacuum.
This taps into something really fundamental about human nature. In a tense negotiation or a tough conversation, a long, unexpected silence is deeply unsettling. It creates this void, and the other person's gut instinct, that deep-seated need to fix that discomfort, it compels them to start talking. And you know what happens when people talk just to fill a void? They almost always reveal more than they meant to.
So check out how this chain reaction plays out. It's so simple, yet so effective. You just maintain your silence, keeping a calm, totally neutral expression. This builds up some serious psychological pressure on the other person, and to relieve that pressure, they start talking. They over-explain, they justify themselves, and this is the critical part, they accidentally reveal their true intentions, their weaknesses, their bottom line. You gain priceless information by saying absolutely nothing.
But here's the catch. Creating that vacuum in someone else means you have to be perfectly still on the inside. This strategy isn't just some external trick you pull on people. It's an internal discipline. It really all comes down to mastering your own composure.
And this slide lays it out perfectly. It's like two sides of the same coin. The external effects, that discomfort you see, the information they give away, that's a direct result of your internal discipline. You can't project calm authority if you're anxious or angry inside. This requires real emotional self-control and the ability to keep a completely neutral expression, giving absolutely nothing away.
And when you can do that, when you achieve that state of inner calm, your composure becomes your armor. It's like an impenetrable shield. People can't read you, they can't provoke you, and they sure can't control you. And in that moment, your silence isn't empty at all. It's absolutely filled with power and authority.
So let's tie this all together. By mastering this art of strategic silence, you fundamentally change how you communicate. You literally shift from a position of asking to a position of stating. You go from a plea to a command.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap the absolute key takeaways here. First, remember that strategic silence is an active tool. You use it to shift authority in your favor. It works because it creates that psychological vacuum, making other people reveal their hand. But the most important point, the one I really want you to remember, is that this entire strategy depends on your internal discipline. Mastering your own composure, that's what unlocks this incredible power.
So, I'm going to leave you with a challenge. The next time you're in a big meeting, a negotiation, any important conversation, resist that urge to immediately jump in and speak. Just try it.
Hold that pause for a few seconds longer than feels comfortable and just watch what happens. You might be completely blown away by the power you find in what you don't say.